Okay, my name is Nelson Rollerson Jr III. My org is Freeport Haven. How I got started into environmental justice was through Ms. Gwen Jones with Climate Conversation and Melody Odom with Better Brazoria. But who directed me into doing this is Ms. Jones. She really stipulated that we have to fight for ourselves. We have to fight for the safety of our children, and we have to let the community know what's been happening all this time. So I went to a few actions and with Ms. Jones and Ms. Odom, and I seen the importance of being an advocate, and that's how I got started into being an advocate for climate justice. What happened before that is when the expansion project was coming for the east end of Freeport, and there were, I say, about 13 residents that was quite concerned of how all of this is going down, and we all came together and we went and we started questioning and wanting to know answers of how is it possible that you could take our homes and then just put us somewhere else, or all the years that you were supposed to be supporting this community or growing this community, you did nothing, but now you want to take our homes. Because if you look at the way it was started in segregation for the East End, and it ended in segregation because that community is not there anymore, you know. So they were here before I was. I was born in the 1960s. They were born in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s, so they can speak upon their time, but I can only speak upon my time. And that's what really got me into the fight, because that community, the East End community, saved me and my sister's life. The lessons that I learned is that your government don't care. Now, that's just straight out. The lesson that I learned is that your elected officials and every system of the government, state, local, and federal, they don't care. They can hear all the impact stories. They see the death rate. They see the growth rate. But they do nothing to rectify these issues. They stand 100% on industrial build-out. They stand 100% on the global economy. So what I've learned is that our representatives only cares about one thing, that's the global economy. Most citizens only care about the jobs because they have to support their families. And I'm 100% behind that. I don't want to see nobody lose no jobs. But I have a concern on how many of those same jobs that are being put in one area, and could say that it sustained good health for the population. I have a problem with that because we have no oversight. We have no elected officials that's going to say, hey, now, we already have a high rate of disease in this community. We're going to put a little tougher restrictions on you because we already having these issues, so we're going to put tougher restrictions, and there's some permits we might not, permit. But that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is getting our statements and seeing what is done to the impact in the community, and they just checking the boxes. and they're gonna pass it anyway. So I find that the problem is our elected officials, because the only thing that their agenda stands for is the global economy. That's all that matters to them. When the same people that vote and put them in the office, they make promises to take care of them, keep them safe, where have they honored that commitment? If you look at Brazoria County as a whole alone, and you go all the way down the Gulf South of the United States of America, where these places are at, where the heavy industrials are at, they're in the mostly impacted minority and poor communities that has a very bad growth rate, you know, and there's a lot of poverty. That's what I learned so far when it comes to the government part aspect of the protections of the people, that your problem is the government. Well, a lot of challenges is funding. That's one of our big challenges, because you are going up against an industry that has about 3,000-4,000 lawyers and has a money supply that's endless, you know, and it takes money to fight money, and that's one of our Achilles heels. We don't have the funding that we need, and on top of that, we don't have the numbers that we need. But I know climate conversation for a fact gonna have the numbers, because Gwen ain't gonna let nobody rest. That's just plain and simple. Sorry about that, Miss Gwen, but she ain't gonna let nobody rest. She gonna let you know. So I know that we need more numbers. We need more people that's knowledgeable into the climate fight, to help these small orgs to be able to be strong enough and to be able to have what they need to directly discuss the issues with these industries and with our government people. So that's one thing that we really need to do to bring the numbers and get the funding to be able to say in Corpus they have a permit hearing probably next week or this week. We don't have anything going on here. Let's go down to Corpus and let's have the numbers in there, because we already know they're not gonna form the community. The orgs are informing the community the best they can. So we have to find new ways of advertising, getting the word out. But I think if we have more people like Sierra and Earthworks and TEC and RAN and all these different organizations, if they can help us more to be able to get the action movements into the community, I believe that would be a great impact and a great help for us all. Well, we experienced the win when Biden put a pause on more new constructions of LNG facilities on the Gulf South. That's a huge win, because everybody fought for that. Everybody put in a lot of heart and soul in that, a lot of jailing, and a lot of flying all over the place. And we won, for a while, and that shows us that we are in a war. In a war, you might win some battles here, and you might lose some battles, you might get pushed back a few, but you still press forward. So we have more wins. Today I found out that the driftwood lost its credit rating, downgraded the credit rating, just like Freeport LNG credit rating was downgraded. At the end of the day, the people that's confronting the government, the owners, and the financiers and the insurance companies are doing an excellent job by holding them to the fire. And We have to continuously do that because nothing to change if we back off. We got to keep pressing with this one. My vision for Freeport, if I talked about the vision before all the industrialization, my vision for Freeport as a child, it was a place that was a lot of shrimping, a lot of fishing. You can go fishing on the docks or you can go out to the beach and enjoy the beach. Go crabbing on any levee that was out there or on 36 in the pond. I would like to see that come back. I would like to see thriving communities. I would like to see new schools in Freeport. That's my vision, that all the pollination would stop in the community. We have to find a way to make it healthy and safer and have the jobs. Well, let's do that. You know, let's see if we can do something different instead of just being willful and killing the population. And you know, every last one of us in Freeport could talk about family members dying from a disease, or children having breathing problems, or the rate of funerals that we attend in one family. You know, every last one of us can talk about that. But at the end of the day, we must change this. We must force them to change this, because it's not about the bottom line of the company. It's about those souls that work in that company and those souls that live around this company. That's the whole deal about, and it can change. We have to change it. We cannot expect things to change if we don't move towards it and we don't demand it. Like my wife say, little Officer Abigail was 7 years old. Child dying from cancer, which one I don't know, but it was very serious. Then you had this little Joshua kid, went to a splash pad in Lake Jackson just to play in the water. He's not here anymore. Who's responsible for this? Who's responsible for those children's lives that they are born with stage 4 cancer? Who's responsible for this? You know, it comes to a point if we don't even show concern for the least one of these, which is the babies, if we don't show concern for them, then we don't care what happens to us. And this is why you work hard, because of them, because of their future. And if we can't stop the ones from sickening our population and sickening our children, then why are we here? Why are we here? It's about us. It's not about corporate greed. It's not about the global economy. It's about every single human being on this planet that's affected from the toxic and dirty dumpers in this community for $1. That's what it's about. Thank you.